Let's bring in our attorney guests now. Criminal defense and immigration attorney Giovanni Diaz and criminal defense attorney Michael Gottlieb. Good morning to you both. Giovanni, let's start with you here, please. What do you see when you look at these surveillance videos?
Well, it's hard to watch these videos and not be shocked by what you're watching. I don't know. It's pretty clear why. At least to me, it's pretty clear why defense counsel has decided to go with the defense that they've gone with. Because everything in the video, there's so much evidence in this case that this is the strategy, and it's pretty clear what the prosecution is doing in the testimony. In their questioning, they're trying to make sure that they kind of differentiate her pattern of behavior at the moment leading up to this and in this incident versus the way she behaved prior to it. And so trying to establish insanity. So it's disturbing to watch, and it's shocking.
It is. Michael, to you next, please. In that first video where we see Carly Gregg peeking into the kitchen, she's got her hand behind her back, believed to be holding the firearm at that time. We hear the gunshots go off. We see the dogs visibly shaken up. And then we see her go back in the kitchen, still covering up her arm, still holding something behind her back, appearing to be very cognizant of that camera. In your view, does that present a challenge to the defense position that she didn't know right from wrong?
Yeah, I think anything that shows that this is a cold, a calculated, and perhaps a premeditated crime is going to be an aggravating factor in a murder case that the defense is going to have to overcome. I think the issue here as well for the defense in presenting any kind of insanity defense is Carly's young age at 14. That is the beginning stages that one starts to have any kind of mental health problems, and you really truly can't diagnose a serious mental illness until the age of 18. So I think that those videos and the testimony that the state has to offer is definitely going to cause the defense to have a hard time presenting their case here.
Right, Michael. Which, also kind of makes me go back to whether she should have taken the plea. So they offered her 40 years. Giovanni, what do you think about that? Do you think that it was a smart move to reject that plea and potentially look at life if she's convicted, or, if she's acquitted? We know that she could have a different result here with life in a mental. I shouldn't say if she's found not guilty by reason of insanity, because that's her plea. She would go to a mental hospital. She's not going to walk free, for anybody wondering at home. But what do you think, Giovanni? Do you think it was smart to reject that deal?
Without having, access to all the discovery on the case, without having access to whatever communications both parties have had up to this point, it's really hard to tell whether or not that's a good decision or a bad decision. I think the defense obviously feels that based on, the information they have about her personality, the way she conducted herself for her entire life, and the fact that they do have some information that she was receiving therapy and that there was mental illness, and her age. I think that they feel like this is a strong case. And when you go to trial, there's a lot of factors that come into play that are really not legal factors, right? And one of those factors is you're putting this case in front of 12 people, and these people are members of the community. And when they see a girl, because this is a child, who's going through the struggles that she's going through, they're going to try to convince the jurors that it's really impossible for a child of that age to really know exactly what they're doing, especially something this severe. And if she has some undiagnosed mental illness, and she's suffering from some kind of delusions, or she's just mental illness in general, then I think it's a decent strategy, right? And again, without knowing the conversations and the preparations they've had with the defendant and with the witnesses, it's hard to tell, but it seems like a decent strategy.
All right, we're going to leave it there for now. Giovanni Diaz, Michael Gottlieb, stand by, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back.